Hello, John Longcroft-Neal here, and here I am at Scotch Corner, don't you know. Driven about about 60 miles to get here from home, and we're off to Bamburgh and the northeast. Well, they call it Scotch Corner. It's very busy, as you can hear and see, and we're staying at this Holiday Inn, which I have to say was very good. And yeah, it's called Scotch Corner. It's on the junction of the A1 and I think the M69. I have to do, not 69, 18. I have to double check that for you. Odd really, because it's not in Scotland and it's not a corner, but nevertheless, here we are, and we've still got about 100 miles to go. It's a long way to the northeast, to Bamburgh Castle, so I better get going.
But we did have time to call into Richmond, a small town nearby, which I've never been to before, and it was really quite fascinating. And it's got a lovely castle right in the middle of town. Look at that. But you have to go down one or two cobbled, narrow streets to get into a decent place, so I could have a closer look. We then set off from Scotch Corner along the famous A1M up past Newcastle-on-Tyne, even further north than that. Look, let's get in a bit closer. There's Newcastle. Over there is just the Scottish border, look. And over here, 250 miles away, is Bamburgh.
Here I am at Bamburgh Castle. From the beach side, there's a lot of sand dunes here, as you can see. Remarkable really that they built such a strong castle basically among the sand dunes, but you can see over there that there's a big hunk of rock sticking up out of the ground, and no doubt that's been there for thousands of years, so it's a perfect place for a castle to be built, and quite magnificent it is too. It has an enormous history to it. Can't come into it all now, give some details later, but quite magnificent, and being the location for a number of film sets before now. Very famous people have been on the beach down there riding across on horses and what have you, and why not? Look at it, it's magnificent. Yeah, Bamburgh Castle, fantastic.
Oh, before we go much further, better take a selfie. Here we go, smile. Let me tell you a little about St Aidan of Lindisfarne. He died in 1651. He was an Irish monk and missionary credited with converting the Anglo-Saxons to Christianity in Northumbria. He founded a ministry cathedral on the island of Lindisfarne, which I'll show you about in a minute, and he was the first bishop, and he travelled ceaselessly throughout the countryside, spreading the gospel to both the Anglo-Saxon nobility and others. To carry on with the story of early Christianity in this area, let me take you over to Holy Island, and you'll see there is a road going right across to the island, but this is a causeway which is only visible and passable during low tide.
The sun is still shining here in the northeast, and we're now on Holy Island in Northumberland. And yeah, you have to drive across the causeway, which is just a road basically, but when it's the wrong tide, it's covered in water. So fortunately, yeah, here we are throughout the day when it'll be low tide, so we're okay.
This trip seems to be everything to do with castles and beaches, and this is the castle on Lindisfarne.
Well, this is Lindisfarne village, and of course Holy Island is a major part of the development of Christianity in Britain. I don't know why it's always the little islands. We've been to Iona off of Mull in Scotland before now, and this is a little island off the Northumbrian coast. Really, I think much of the seafaring travellers were taking these Christian routes around, and that's why we're here.
It was an interesting little community here on the island. I don't know if to call it Holy Island or the island of Lindisfarne. Anyway, there's quite a flood of people come over when it's possible at low tide, but of course when high tide's around, I presume there aren't any visitors here at all, so it must be a totally different feel to the place.
This really is the land and the harbour of sheds made of boats. Look, there's lots of them. They're all boats. Wonder why. I wonder what's in these sheds anyway. Well, that looks really quite attractive, doesn't it, over there? Wow, look at the pattern on that. Oh, finally something of a proper boat, but wrecked. Here's the priory, which was built apparently much later on than all the other stuff, but all part of the history of the island.
This abbey was built later on, but here is a statue of St Aidan in the churchyard. This is St Mary's Church, Lindisfarne, which is still operational, so I went in. Well, the sun is still out, but this is our final day here, and I think we've got the best of the sunshine. Probably see over there, it's really quite dark. But it's been an excellent few days, and got to get back to the car for two reasons. One is that the car park ticket's going to run out, and secondly, since we're on an island, the causeway which we drove along to get here gets covered by the tide. Not immediately soon, but before too long, in a few hours. So got to get back to the car and get going. Northumberland also has remarkable beaches, so grab your bucket and spade, here we go. There's no wind, I think you might be able to hear me. Might even fly me drone for a minute. Let's have a look, see what we got. That is very nice. Well, I'm in Alnwick Gardens, near Alnwick Castle in Northumberland, and it's very impressive. There's all sorts of stuff here, and very clean and very well maintained. So we've only just arrived, so we'll see what else there is here to see. Yeah, looking forward to it. The first feature we came across is the Serpent Garden, which is a maze of yew hedges and these magnificent water features made of stainless steel, and such inventive and creative ways of presenting water in various fountains and pools. Just look. After all that excitement, it was time to go to lunch in the treehouse. Yes, they've got a treehouse. We expected it to be dark and rustic inside, and we weren't disappointed. Well, this is a lot of fun, and the food was okay and not too expensive. We didn't manage to visit Alnwick Castle, but I managed to get this wonderful drone shot over the River Alne and of the lush fields around the castle itself. And finally, I must give you a little tour of Bamburgh Castle itself.
Where we are at Bamburgh Castle proper, and look at that keep, it's amazing. And that was probably built around 900 years ago, if not more. And from here, of course, you can just see this enormous beach, because we're right on the coast.
In this room there is a display of the characters and the costumes that we used for The Last Kingdom, which I believe is a video game.
The weather is gorgeous up here in the northeast, and it's not usually like this at all, so we're very, very lucky. So the beach looks fantastic, and it's really quite warm. So having looked around the castle and the keep and all the rooms and all the stuff, the only thing to do now is go to the cafe. There it is.
Having toured the castle and refreshed ourselves in the cafe, we made our way back outside next to the cricket ground and croquet location. Could you believe it? And you'll notice I've recruited Graham, a new cameraman. He was very good. We finally made our way down to the beach and struggled in the beautiful white soft sand before making our way back to the Lord Crew where we were staying. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. That's been a fantastic visit here to Northumberland and Bamburgh in particular. Look, castle in the background. Yeah, thanks for watching, and you will see me next time. Okay, bye bye.